Look closely at your hands. You believe they hold the keys to your future, the tools for your success, the means to build the life you've always dreamed of. But what if the most precious thing you possess is slipping through your fingers like fine sand? At this very moment, we are taught to look forward, to plan, to prepare for a life that is always just around the corner. We are experts at getting ready to live, but novices at the act of living itself. The story of a wasted life doesn't begin with a great tragedy. It begins with a simple, seductive promise whispered to us every single day. The promise that if you just work a little harder, acquire a little more, and climb a little higher on the ladder, you will eventually arrive at a place called happiness. This is the great modern myth, the blueprint for a life spent in perpetual motion, always chasing a horizon that moves as you advance. Consider the modern professional. He wakes before the sun, his first act of the day, to check a glowing screen filled with the demands of others. His calendar is a fortress, every minute accounted for, a testament to his importance. He moves through his day with a sense of urgency, fueled by caffeine and ambition. He tells himself this is the price of success, the temporary sacrifice required for a future reward. He is busy, productive, and admired. But is he truly alive? We are told that our value is measured by our productivity, by the things we can show for our time. A bigger house, a faster car, a more prestigious job title. These are the trophies of a life well spent, or so the story goes. We display them proudly, hoping they will convince others, and perhaps even ourselves, that we are not wasting our time. We become collectors of things, forgetting that our life is not a collection, but a continuous experience. The crowd moves in one direction, and it feels safe to move with it. We adopt its goals, share its anxieties, and celebrate its hollow victories. The fear of being left behind is a powerful motivator, so we run on the same treadmill, chasing the same phantoms of security and status. We find comfort in this shared delusion, because to stand still, to question the race itself, would be to risk being alone, with the terrifying possibility that we are all running in the wrong direction. We trade our time, our most finite and precious resource, for money. We tell ourselves it's a fair exchange. But the philosopher Seneca would ask us a chilling question. Why do you value at such a high price this thing called time, when you are so willing to give it away? We are careful with our property, we guard our money, but we let our days be stolen by trivial tasks, pointless meetings, and the endless demands of a world that never stops asking for more. The illusion is carefully maintained. Social media feeds show curated highlight reels of success and happiness. We see the vacations, the promotions, the perfect families. This creates a powerful pressure to project our own version of success. We wear a mask of contentment, hiding the quiet anxieties and the creeping feeling of emptiness. We become actors in a play where everyone is pretending, and the price of admission is our own authenticity. We live in the future or the past. We are either anxious about what is to come or regretful about what has already passed. The present moment, the only place where life actually happens, becomes a mere stepping stone, a brief inconvenience on the way to somewhere else. We eat our meals while checking emails. We talk to our loved ones while our minds are on tomorrow's to-do list. We are ghosts in our own lives, always haunting what's next or what was. We believe that one day, when everything is perfect, when the mortgage is paid, the kids are grown, and the promotion is secured, we will finally grant ourselves permission to live. This one day is the most dangerous lie of all. It is a mirage in the desert of a busy life, promising relief that never comes. Life doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. It is happening now, in the mess, in the struggle, in the imperfect present. So we run. We fill every second with activity, because in the silence a terrifying question begins to surface. A quiet whisper from the depths of our own being that asks, is this all there is? The frantic busyness is not a sign of a full life, but an attempt to outrun this existential dread. We are afraid that if we stop, we will be forced to confront the profound emptiness of a life lived according to someone else's rules. The first crack in the facade appears not as a loud crash, but as a silent moment of profound dissatisfaction. You achieve a goal you have chased for years, the corner office, the big bonus, the public recognition, but the feeling of triumph is fleeting, hollow. The promised happiness evaporates almost instantly, replaced by the familiar, gnawing emptiness. You are left standing on the finish line, wondering why you feel nothing at all. You start to notice the passage of time in a new, more alarming way. Not in years, but in moments. The reflection in the mirror shows a person you barely recognize, the lines on their face telling a story of worry, not wisdom. You see old photographs and feel a pang of loss for the person you used to be, for the dreams you once had before you traded them for a more practical path. The clock on the wall seems to tick louder now. Seneca asks us to perform a simple thought experiment. Keep a diary, not of what you did, but of who controlled your time. How much of your day was given to your boss, to pointless obligations, to social media, to worrying about things outside your control? How much was truly your own? The results are often shocking. We discover we are not the masters of our own lives, but slaves to 1,000 tiny tyrants. You begin to see the successful people around you differently. You notice the forced smiles, the exhausted eyes, the quiet desperation behind the confident facade. You hear them talk endlessly about being busy, wearing their stress like a badge of honor. You realize that they are not free. They are trapped in the same golden cage, polishing the bars and calling it a mansion. Their success now looks more like a prison. This is where the first real doubt sets in. A simple, powerful question begins to haunt you. What is the point of gaining the whole world if you lose yourself in the process? What good is a life of frantic accomplishment if it leaves no room for joy, for peace, for connection? You start to suspect that the map you have been following leads not to a treasure, but to a barren wasteland of regret. You try to escape. You book the expensive vacation, you buy the new gadget, you seek out new thrills. But the feeling of unease follows you. It is a shadow you cannot outrun. These distractions provide temporary relief, like a painkiller that dulls the ache but doesn't heal the wound. The moment the novelty wears off, the silence returns, and with it, the same unsettling questions about the direction of your life. The philosopher Seneca points out that we are prodigal with our time, precisely because it is an invisible asset. You can see your bank account dwindle, but you cannot see your remaining moments disappear. Because you cannot see it, you treat it as if it were infinite. You say, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'll have more time later." This is the fundamental error, the cognitive blind spot that costs us our lives. A feeling of deep exhaustion begins to set in, but it's not a physical tiredness. It is a soul-deep weariness. The exhaustion of pretending, of chasing, of running. The constant effort of maintaining the mask and playing the game becomes unbearable. You long for something real, something authentic. You begin to crave silence over noise, substance over surface, and peace over the chaotic pursuit of more. You start to question the very definition of a productive day. Was a day spent in back-to-back meetings more valuable than a day spent on a long walk in nature? Was closing a deal more important than having a deep, uninterrupted conversation with a loved one? The old metrics of success begin to seem absurd. You realize that a life can be full of accomplishments and still be profoundly empty. You see someone who embodies a different way of being. An old man reading on a park bench, completely absorbed. A craftsman in their workshop, focused and present. They possess a quiet dignity, a sense of inner peace that seems more valuable than all the world's riches. They are not in a hurry. They are not trying to impress anyone. They are simply inhabiting their own lives, fully and completely. The core of the problem, Seneca would argue, is that we live as if we were immortal. We postpone our joy, our passions, our true callings. We relegate them to a mythical time in the future called retirement. We are saving the best wine for a party that may never happen. This habit of postponement is the single greatest thief of life, robbing us of the only thing we truly own, the present moment. The systems we live in are designed to keep us distracted. An endless stream of notifications, breaking news, and manufactured outrage keeps our minds occupied and our attention fragmented. We are encouraged to have an opinion on everything, except on the state of our own lives. This constant external noise drowns out the quiet inner voice that is trying to guide us back to ourselves. It is a deliberate, calculated theft of our focus. This path of constant striving doesn't just leave you empty, it creates a state of perpetual, low-grade anxiety, the fear of falling behind, the pressure to keep up, the worry about the future. It's like having an engine that is always running in the red, This isn't living, it's a state of survival. You are not enjoying the journey, you are just trying not to crash. True wealth isn't money, but a calm mind. You begin to realize that memory is a treacherous thing. You can't recall what you had for lunch last Tuesday, yet you've spent weeks of your life in meetings you barely remember. The days blend into a monotonous blur of activity. A life that is not lived with intention is a life that is not remembered. It passes by like a movie you slept through, leaving only a vague sense of having missed something important. A thought occurs to you. What if my life is already over? Not in the literal sense, but in the sense that the person I was meant to be has already been sacrificed at the altar of security and social approval. What if I've already traded my one wild and precious life for a series of comfortable, predictable, and ultimately meaningless days? This terrifying thought is not a cause for despair, but the necessary catalyst for change. You look at your possessions, the symbols of your hard work, and you see them for what they are. Not sources of joy, but sources of worry. The big house needs constant repairs. The fancy car needs insurance and maintenance. Your investments require constant monitoring. As Seneca said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Your wealth has begun to own you. The unraveling leads to a critical moment of choice. You can double down on the delusion, chase even harder, and distract yourself with more noise and more ambition, hoping to finally feel fulfilled. Or you can stop. You can stand still, turn around, and face the truth you have been running from. You can begin the difficult, terrifying, and liberating process of reclaiming your own life, one moment at a time. You realize that the people you were trying to impress don't actually care. They are too busy trying to impress everyone else. Everyone is the anxious star of their own movie, and you are just a background character. This realization is incredibly freeing. It means you can stop performing. You can drop the act. You are free to live a life that is true to you, not a life designed for an imaginary audience. The anxiety you feel is a signal. It's not a malfunction. It's a compass. It is your deeper self telling you that you are going in the wrong direction. The emptiness is not a void to be filled with more stuff, but a space waiting to be filled with purpose. For the first time, you stop running from these feelings and start listening to them. They have been trying to save you all along. The final illusion to shatter is that you need permission from someone else to change your life. You don't need a new job, a new city, or a new relationship. You only need to make a new decision. The decision to stop giving your time away so freely. The decision to value your attention. The decision to be the fierce guardian of your own inner peace. The power to change has been inside you all along. And here is the core revelation, the simple, earth-shattering truth from Seneca that changes everything. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it is all well invested. The problem isn't the length of your life, but the width of it. It's not about how many years you have, but how much life you pack into those years. You don't need more time. You need more presence. Your life is not a bank account to be filled. It is a fire to be tended. The preoccupied, distracted person throws wet logs and garbage onto their fire, creating a lot of smoke but no heat. The wise person carefully selects dry, quality wood. They focus on what truly nourishes their soul and provides light and warmth. They understand that the goal isn't the biggest fire, but the brightest and most enduring one. The great lie is that your time belongs to others, to your employer, to social expectations, to the demands of the world. The great truth is that your time is yours alone. It is your most fundamental property. To reclaim it, you must become a fierce protector of your attention. You must learn the powerful art of saying no. No to the pointless meeting. No to the trivial obligation. No to the endless scroll. Every no is a yes to your own life. Think of your time not as a line, but as a space. The wasted life is a narrow corridor, crammed with obligations, anxieties, and noise. You can only rush forward. The well-lived life is a wide, open field. There is space to breathe, to wander, to explore, to be still. You create this space by removing the non-essential. The goal is not to do more, but to be more. to exist more fully in the space you have. Seneca reminds us, you are living as if destined to live forever. Your own frailty never occurs to you. Embracing the truth of your mortality is not morbid. It is motivating. It is the ultimate tool for prioritization. Knowing that your time is finite forces you to ask the most important question. Is this truly how I want to be spending a piece of my life that I can never get back? This question dissolves the trivial and illuminates the essential. The ultimate freedom is not freedom from work or responsibility. It is internal freedom. The freedom from the opinion of others. The freedom from a constant craving for more. The freedom from anxiety about a future you cannot control and regret, about a past you cannot change. This freedom is found by focusing only on what is within your power, your thoughts, your judgments, and your actions in this present moment. The past is a memory. The future is an imagination. Only the present is real. The person who wastes their life is a time traveler, constantly visiting a past they cannot change and a future that doesn't exist. To live wisely is to anchor yourself firmly in the now, to feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, to truly taste your food, to listen with your whole being to another person. This is where life is found. What does it mean to invest your time well? It means spending it on things that cannot be taken from you, reading and learning, which cultivate your mind, practicing virtue and kindness, which build your character, nurturing relationships, which enrich your soul, spending time in quiet contemplation, which brings you peace. These are the investments that pay dividends not in money, but in wisdom and joy. Stop waiting for a vacation to live. Integrate moments of true leisure into every day. Seneca called this otium. Not idleness, but purposeful, reflective leisure. A 5-minute walk without your phone. 10 minutes of silence before the day begins. Reading a single page of a profound book. These small acts of reclaiming your time are more powerful than a 2-week holiday once a year. They are the training ground for a life of presence. The person who wastes their life is always in a hurry, yet arrives nowhere. The wise person moves slowly, deliberately, and with purpose. They understand that speed is not the same as progress. Rushing through life is a sure way to miss it. By slowing down, you see the details, you appreciate the journey, and you make better decisions. Your life becomes richer and more meaningful, not because you do more, but because you experience more. The revelation is that you are already rich. You were born with a vast inheritance, a lifetime of moments, but like a foolish heir, you have been letting swindlers and flatterers take it from you piece by piece. The swindlers are your distractions. The flatterers are your hollow ambitions. The moment you realize its true value, you begin to guard it. You become the CEO of your own time, the master of your own attention. We are afraid of old age, viewing it as a decline. But Seneca saw it as the final, most precious part of life. If invested well, our earlier years provide us with a wealth of wisdom and memories. Old age is the time to enjoy those returns. But for the preoccupied man, old age arrives as a surprise. He looks back and sees only a blur, a life spent preparing for a future that is now the past. The greatest achievement in the Stoic view is a state of euthymia, or tranquility, a calm, unshakable peace of mind. This is the ultimate prize. It is not found by adding more to your life, but by subtracting what is not essential. It is the natural state of a mind that is not burdened by trivial worries, frantic cravings, or the opinions of others. It is the stillness at the center of the storm. You must stop living in hope. Hope, in this context, is a form of procrastination. Hoping things will get better, hoping you'll have more time, hoping your circumstances will change. The wise person replaces hope with action. They do not wait for conditions to be perfect. They act now, with what they have. They take responsibility for creating their own peace and purpose, rather than hoping it will be delivered to them. True self-possession means being able to enjoy your own company. The person who wastes their life is terrified of being alone, because in the silence, their emptiness rushes in. The wise person cherishes solitude. It is a time for reflection, for study, for connecting with their own thoughts. If you are not a good companion to yourself, how can you be a good companion to anyone else? The transformation begins when you start to treat time like money, only far more valuable. Before you spend an hour, ask yourself, what is the return on this investment? Is this activity enriching my mind, my character, or my soul? Or is it simply a withdrawal from my finite account with no return? This simple mental accounting can radically shift how you allocate your days, moving you from a life of deficit to a life of wealth. The world will not stop trying to steal your attention. It is the new currency. Understanding this is half the battle. You must build a fortress around your focus. This means creating systems, turning off notifications, setting specific times for email, scheduling time for deep work and deep leisure. You are no longer a passive victim of distraction, but an active architect of your own attention. The greatest power you have is the power to choose your response. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can always control how you interpret it and how you react to it. The person who wastes their life is a puppet of external events. The wise person finds their power in the space between stimulus and response. In that space lies their freedom and their growth. The core truth is a paradox. By embracing your limits, you become limitless. By accepting that your time is finite, you start to live an infinitely richer life. By focusing on your small circle of control, you gain a sense of power and peace that is unshakable. The wasted life is a frantic grasp for infinity that ends in emptiness. The well-lived life is a humble, focused embrace of the present that blossoms into everything. So you stand at the precipice of a new understanding. The old map is burned. The old lies are exposed. The path forward is not about acquiring more, but about becoming more. It is about an inner revolution, a shift from a life of frantic doing to a life of conscious being. The key is in your hand. The choice is yours. The time is now. The path of transformation is not easy. When you first start reclaiming your time, the world will resist. People will call you selfish for setting boundaries. Your own mind, accustomed to distraction, will rebel against the silence. There will be a withdrawal period from the drug of busyness. This initial struggle is the price of freedom. It is the proof that you are finally moving in the right direction. You will have to make hard choices. This may mean leaving a job that drains your soul, even if it pays well. It may mean distancing yourself from friends who only engage in negativity and gossip. It means choosing the discomfort of growth over the comfort of stagnation. Each of these choices is an act of profound self-respect, a declaration that your life is worth more than empty comforts. You will feel lonely at times. The path of wisdom is often a solitary one. While the crowd continues its frantic race for trivial prizes, you will be walking in a different direction. You must find the strength to trust your own inner compass, even when no one else understands your journey. The loneliness is temporary. The inner peace you will find is permanent. The first fruits of your labor will be small, but profound. A moment of genuine, uninterrupted joy. An evening where you go to bed feeling peaceful instead of anxious. The ability to sit in silence without feeling the need to reach for your phone. These are the signs that your inner world is changing. You are no longer a slave to circumstance, but the calm center of your own life. Your relationship with work will transform. You no longer work to impress others or to accumulate wealth for its own sake. You work with a sense of purpose and craftsmanship. You focus on doing the task at hand to the best of your ability, finding satisfaction in the work itself, not just the reward. Your work becomes a form of meditation, a practice of presence. Contrast the two lives. The wasted life is a constant rush, filled with anxiety, ending in a blur of regret. The intentional life is calm, deliberate, and focused. It is a life of substance, not speed. One path is crowded, noisy, and leads off a cliff. The other is quiet, sometimes lonely, but it leads to a summit with a breathtaking view. The choice of which path to walk is made every single day. You begin to find joy in simple things, the things you were too busy to notice before. The taste of your morning coffee, the feeling of cool air on your face, the sound of rain. By being present, you unlock a universe of richness that was always there, hidden in plain sight. You realize that happiness was never at the top of the ladder. It was in every step you took when you were truly paying attention. Your relationships become deeper and more meaningful. Because you are more present, you can listen more deeply. You connect with people on an authentic level, beyond superficialities. You have less patience for trivial drama, but infinite patience for genuine human connection. You become a source of calm and stability for others, a lighthouse in their own storms, because you have first found that peace within yourself. The struggle becomes its own reward. You begin to welcome challenges, not as obstacles, but as opportunities to practice your philosophy. A difficult conversation is a chance to practice patience. A setback is a chance to practice resilience. Life is no longer a problem to be solved, but a training ground for the soul. You become stronger not by avoiding hardship, but by facing it with wisdom and courage. You start to build a citadel of the mind. This is your inner fortress, a place of peace and reason that no external event can breach. Financial loss, public criticism, health problems. These things can harm your body or your bank account, but they cannot touch your inner citadel unless you allow them to. This is the source of true Stoic resilience. It is the peace that the world cannot give and cannot take away. You become the author of your own day. You wake up and decide what is truly important, not what is merely urgent. You design your life around your values, not around the expectations of others. You are no longer reacting to your life. You are creating it. This shift from reactive to creative living is the essence of taking back your power and living a life of purpose. You look back at your old self, the one who was always running, always anxious, always chasing. You don't feel judgment, but compassion. You understand that they were just playing the game by the rules they were given, but you have found a new set of rules, a new game to play. The game of inner mastery, where the only opponent is your former self and the only prize is a well-lived life. The transformation is complete when you no longer need anything from the world to be happy. Your happiness is generated from within. It comes from your virtuous actions, your clear thoughts, and your acceptance of reality. You can enjoy the good things in life without being attached to them, and you can endure the bad things without being broken by them. This is the unshakable joy of the sage. The ultimate goal is to live in accordance with nature, both your own nature and the nature of the cosmos. This means accepting what you cannot change with grace and focusing your energy on what you can, your own character. It is a life of harmony, where your actions are aligned with your deepest values. This alignment is the source of profound, lasting peace and fulfillment. This new way of living is not a one-time fix, but a lifelong practice. Every day presents a new opportunity to choose presence over distraction, courage over comfort, and wisdom over foolishness. The path has no end. The path is the destination. The reward for living a good life is the good life itself. It is a continuous process of becoming a better, wiser, and freer human being. Now bring this back to your own life, to the screen you are watching, to the room you are in. This is not just a story about a character in a video. It is your story. The wasted life and the wise life are not just concepts. They are choices that you are making in this very moment. With every click, every thought, every breath, you are choosing which path to walk. You don't need to quit your job or abandon your family to begin. The change starts small. Start by reclaiming just 5 minutes. When you wake up, before you reach for your phone, just sit in silence. Breathe. Ask yourself what truly matters today. This small act of intention can change the entire trajectory of your day, and eventually, your life. Conduct your own audit. For one day, be ruthlessly honest about where your time and attention go. How much of it was spent on things that truly align with your deepest values? How much was lost to distraction, obligation, or anxiety? The goal isn't to judge yourself, but to gather data. You cannot change what you do not measure. This awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your life. Find your why. Why do you want to live a more intentional life? Is it for inner peace, for deeper relationships, to create something meaningful, to be a better parent or partner? Your reason must be powerful and personal. It is the fuel that will get you through the difficult moments of transformation. Write it down. Look at it every day. Let it be your guide. Remember that this is a practice of subtraction, not addition. The question is not, what can I add to my life to be happy? But what can I remove from my life to be happy? What unnecessary possession? What draining commitment? What useless worry can you let go of today? Each thing you remove creates more space for what truly matters. The journey from the common lie to the profound truth is the most important journey you will ever take. It is the journey from an external life of frantic desperation to an internal life of calm strength. It is the journey home to yourself. You have been away for a long time, lost in the noise and the hurry, but the path back is always open. It begins with a single, conscious breath. Your life is a masterpiece, and you are the artist. For too long, you have let other people hold the brush, splashing their chaotic colors onto your canvas. It is time to take the brush back. It is time to paint with intention, with purpose, and with love for the preciousness of your medium. Create a life so well lived that it becomes a work of art. Do not be a mere passenger in your own existence. Be the captain of your soul. Seize the helm. The seas will be rough, and the storms will come. But a skilled captain is not made in calm waters. It is in navigating the challenges with wisdom and courage that you will discover the true depth of your own strength and the profound peace of being in command of your own journey. The great Stoic emperor, Marcus Aurelius, wrote to himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is not a threat, but a call to clarity. It strips away the non-essential and focuses the mind. If this were your last day, would you spend it worrying about a petty insult? Would you spend it scrolling through feeds? Or would you spend it on what truly matters? So we end where we began, with the sand slipping through your fingers. But now, you see it differently. It is not a source of anxiety, but a reminder of preciousness. Each grain is a moment, an opportunity. You can let them fall away unnoticed, or you can cherish each one. You can build a life of frantic accumulation, or a life of profound appreciation. The choice is yours. It always has been. The final challenging thought from Seneca is this: it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Your life may be longer than you think, if you choose to truly live it. The power to stop wasting your life is not in the future. It is not in a different set of circumstances. It is here, it is now, in your very next decision, in your very next breath.